Eater? Good, because I'm not. Now, my name is John Swasey, and I'm a voice actor, and I play the role of Lord Death. Love you, man. Love you. Thank you all so much. Thank you all. Thank you all, and love you all. Thank you all for being here. I got to tell you, I am very, very overwhelmed right now. I feel like Benjamin right now. I've never, ever in my entire however long a damn career I've never had a panel this big, and God bless you all. Thank you all for being here.
We love you!
So let's talk some soda. Like I said, my name is John Swasey, and I can see you've had enough. Thanks for coming out. Oh, no, you're just turning around. Okay. Yes, get it. Hang on one second. Now take a picture. It's not rock and roll, there's no feedback. So anyway, we're all here to talk a little Soul Eater because it's like a good show. And anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but I really am interested in what you guys think about it. So we're going to open it up pretty quick to some Q&A because really I love hearing what you guys have to say. But anyway, Soul Eater for me was one of the greatest jobs I ever had. It was directed by Zach Bolton at Funimation, who's, I don't know if he's here, but he's the greatest director ever, if he is. And no, he is a great director, and I'll never forget when I first auditioned for Soul Eater. I was up at Funimation doing something else, you know, a host of other shows and everything, and he asked me to come in and read for this character named Lord Death. And if you're familiar with any of my work, you know that I do a lot of characters that are down like this, and Crocodile, and Mister, and whatnot. And so when I heard, oh, you got a show, and it's called Soul Eater, that sounds kind of dark. And my character's named Lord Death. All right, I think I see where this is going. So my first instinct was, all right, I'm Lord Death. And he said, no, that's not really it. Listen to the Japanese actor. So I listened to the Japanese actor, and I was like, oh, tell you what, I'm more like this. I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. And I was like, well, that's weird. Because his name is Lord Death. And you got to forgive me, my voice is a little gone here from the weekend. But anyway, so it was a true departure for me from the stuff that I normally do. But what a joy it was to do that character and to do that voice. I always had to make sure when I went up to Funimation to voice it, that because I live in Houston. Houston is a 4-hour drive, 4.5-hour drive, whatever, from Houston to Dallas. I believe you all call that Kansas. But so I'd get up there and I'd work for 7 or 8 hours and then drive home. So it was always a long day. But I always had to make sure that if I'm doing Lord Death, I had to do him first. Because I couldn't do Crocodile, I couldn't do, you know, whatever character that I was just going, that's the way it's going to be, you know, or whatever that voice was. And then come in and just go, all right, let's do it. You know, it sounds like this, and it sounds like crap. So I always had to do Lord Death first, and they were always very, very generous at making that happen. So anyway, Lord Death was a very fun character for me to play, and obviously we have a few fans of that character and of that show.
Yeah.
So, thank you all so much for being here. I did a panel earlier of a show I did called Coyote Ragtime Show, where I played a character named Mister, and he would down there like this. And we had 3 people at the panel, 2 of which said, I've never even seen the show. Well, that was okay. It was all right? But I'm guessing that you all have seen Soul Eater. So I'm not going to bother going into what it's about. You all know what it's about. So what I want to do is just kind of open it up, man. Let's have a little, let's have a dialogue. Let's be very responsible and have a dialogue. But yeah, the question, yes.
What was your favorite line that you recorded in Lord Death?
My favorite line in Lord Death? Read my shot! My children were watching the show one time, and
we're gonna ask the question.
They were watching, and they were like, "You're the narrator too, aren't you?" I'm like, "No." What makes you say that? Because it sounds like you. All right. Well, yeah, I am the narrator as well, so fine. But it was, we always, when we did that, when we recorded, we always did Lord Death, and then we'd go back and then come back into the narrator. So I had to flip-flop, because it's too difficult. But yeah, I love like Reaper Chops, my favorite one. Because it reminds me of pork chops. And I love pork. Although I just had some Nebraska beef, and I'm feeling pretty good. You have 2 45s pointed in the air. I'm going to go with 2 questions, just so you don't turn them this way. Yeah.
What's it like to have twins?
What's it like to have twins?
Yeah. You love them.
It sucks. I'm kidding, children. I love you all. I love you. I love you more. No, I love you more. No, I love you both more.
Do you love them symmetrically?
What's that?
Do you love them symmetrically?
Do I love them symmetrically?
Symmetrically!
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
You're such a vocal chameleon. What is the closest you've done to your own voice in a voiceover?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You're such a vocal chameleon. You're just all over the place with these incredible ranges of voices. Which one did you do that was closest to your own voice?
Oh, which character? Not, okay, not in, it was yelling at my kids the other day. That was put the toilet seat down! Now! You know, I won't say it's the closest to my voice, but it's the easiest on my voice is playing your old buddy Hohenheim in Full Metal Alchemist. And I'll tell you a great story about that. This is so funny. I got called in, and I think I was actually doing some Soul Eater, and Mike McFarland, the director, one of the directors over at Funimation, said, I'd like you to come in, I'd like you to audition for this role. And I was like, okay, what is it? He goes, well, I can't really talk about it. Kind of hush-hush and blah, blah, blah. He goes, just read these lines. And I started reading this like, dude, this is Full Metal Alchemist. That's Hohenheim. Hey, shut up! I said, that's Scott McNeil. And he goes, yeah, well, because of some contract problems and being in Canada versus the United States, we cannot bring Scott down. We need you to kind of redo Scott McNeil. And so I said, okay. So my first line was, Edward, why did you burn down my house? And a couple of years before that, I did a sweet little dude by the name of Gendo in Evangelion. And I replaced Kristen McCaffrey, who was originally the Gendo, and we did that. And so now I kind of feel like Darren on Bewitched. I'm the new Gendo. I'm the new Hohenheim. But those actors are both very talented, and I admire them dearly, and I hope I've done them justice. But it was kind of a tough thing. But that was the easiest voice I've ever done. Again, because I'm not, doing something out here! Doing something out here! Whatever, So, those are easy interviews. But I've never really done, I've never done anything in my own voice. I think because my own voice sucks. I don't know if y'all ever done this, but I record myself and I'll do this, and I'll listen to it back. I'm like, good God. Who would hire that guy? He's awful. So, anyway. Yes, sir. Jim said. Yes, sir.
Okay, I was actually at your ragtime show for a little bit. You said you hadn't seen all of Coyote Ragtime. Have you watched all fully?
Okay, the question was, I did not get a chance to watch all of Ragtime. Did I get a chance to watch all of Soul Eater? The answer is no. I have not. I've watched some of it. I've watched what I can. But again, it's a lot of it. And, it's not that I don't want to watch it. It's not that I don't desire to watch it. It's just, it's a time issue. I've got 3 kids and a redheaded wife. I'm even in Omaha right now. So, when I come home, I don't go, hey, that's great, you take care of the kids, I'm going to watch a little Soul Eater. But I try to watch as much as I can. I do. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
What was your favorite scene
No, that's let me tell you, that's a really interesting question. Her question was, what is one of your favorite scenes to work with? Pardon me, and that's a great question, but it's a very difficult one to answer because if you're not familiar with the way that we dub these things, it's not necessarily done in a scene-by-scene progression. I can't even say progression. So you're doing 1 or 2 lines at a time. So it's very difficult to get the feel of what the scene is about. You just kind of have to go with what the director's feeding you, and kind of because you're doing line by line. Number 1, you're trying to match what the Japanese actor did, because I appreciate you all loving what I've done, but let's give a little bit of love to what the original actor did, because they. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here. So my hat's off to them for doing what they did, because they get a chance to do it scene by scene and all that kind of stuff, and we don't. So it's very difficult for me to say, oh, my favorite scene is doing this, because we're doing it line by line, and it's hard for me to get a level of continuity through the whole thing. I'm sorry if that's a crappy answer, but throw it out. Okay, thanks. Yes, sir, right there in the... Dude, are you Air Deer?
No, I'm not.
Oh, did you look like Air Deer?
Oh, no, I'm a girl.
Well, I know you're a girl. I'm just saying Air Deer's a show. Okay, all right. You gotta really speak up, sweetie. I can't hear you.
How do you get into character?
How do I get into character? I get up at 5 in the morning. I shower. Sometimes. I get in my car and I drive 4.5 hours up to Dallas from Houston. And I walk in the booth and I go, let's do this. they give me some like background and stuff, and then we jump right into it. Now that's a silly answer. Really, to get into character, when you're working initially with the director, they tell you, like I said, they'll tell you, no, the voice is not here. So we'll do that, and then in actually the very first episode, and actually not just the first episode, but we'll do like the first 5 episodes, and then I'll come back a month later and do another 5 episodes or whatever. And a lot of times what we'll do is we'll jump into it, and then about 10, 15 lines later, he'll stop and go, okay, let's go back and start again and just pick up the first 10 or 15, because now you're really in the voice. So it does take a little time, to kind of get yourself lubricated and mentally set into that voice. But we don't have, why don't you take a couple hours and just get ready? It's not like that. You got to get in there and get it done, because time is money. So, yeah.
Is Blair available, please?
Dude, you're holding a cactus. I thought it was a cactus. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is Blair available?
I can't. You got to.
Is Blair available?
Sure.
Who wants to take the sexy kitty home?
Everything you bet. Yeah. What's the favorite character I've ever voiced? What's your favorite character I've ever done? I've had the, I've had the privilege of doing a gazillion different characters, and I find every one of them enjoyable, and I can't say I have a favorite. They're all so much fun, and they're so, when you finish, you would not believe how exhausting doing voice work is. And especially if you're somebody that's screaming a lot. But every one of them is fun. And I'm sorry I can't give you they're just all fun. Really, the tacky answer is, my favorite voice character is the one I just did last night, 2 weeks ago, or whatever, what I'm doing now. But Lord Death is certainly up there. Crocodile is certainly up there. Gates from Full Metal Panic, I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. He kind of sounded a little bit like Lord Death, except he was way more perverted. I enjoyed that. Yeah. I'm sorry, all I hear is the music back here. I know. You shout it out? Out of all the roles I've had, which has been the hardest? It would have to be Lord Death or Sir Crocodile. Just because there's, to maintain that level for hours on end really takes a toll on my voice. I mean, you can hear my voice now, and I haven't even doing anything. So, pardon me. It just, but those two are just so. You're doing something that's not normal. So it's straining your vocal cords. So, but those two are probably the most. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking this, what was it like working with Vic Mignogna?
If you don't mind you asking me this, what was it like working with Vic Mignogna? In what capacity? Vic Mignogna is a brilliant actor. He's a great guy, and I love working with him. We don't get a chance to work together as often as we'd like because we're always doing stuff individually in the booth. We don't work together in teams or in pairs. But working with Vic has always been a pleasure. I don't know if anybody was here last night. We had a midnight screening of Pardon me. We had a midnight screen last night of a live-action film called Lake Texarkana Gamera, which was a live-action movie of Gamera the turtle that we did with a bunch of East Texas rednecks. And it was a lot of fun. I wish we would have had a crowd this big, but it was a lot of fun. But Vic did a lot of work on that. And then afterwards, I showed a short animation that Vic and I and a couple other guys are working on called Zeke and Zerlon. Zeke and Zerlon is a little animation thing we're getting ready to launch about a space alien that crash lands his spacecraft into a trailer park in Texarkana, Texas. And he can't fix it, so he puts it up on blocks. And he has conversations with his next door neighbor, Zeke. And they just talk about stuff. It's commentary. And Vic was very instrumental in that. He plays one of the characters in it. Vic is a tremendous person to work with. He's gifted. He's got talent on the room from God. I mean, he's a great guy. Really great guy. Do you like Vic? Yeah? All right. I'll tell him who says so. No, he's a great guy to work with. Yeah.
I got a request for you more than a question. After the panel, would you be willing to pose for a picture with all of us soul eaters?
Yes.
Do I need to be naked?
No. Maybe.
I'm going to go with maybe, and the answer is yes.
Yeah!
My least favorite line? Just in general? God, and my least favorite line? My least favorite line from Soul Leader was probably when the director said, "Thank you, that's enough." There's no least favorite line. I mean, we do the lines, we do them, I do have my favorite line of all time. You want to hear it?
Yeah!
Is there anybody in here under the age of 18?
Cover your ears.
Do I have permission to say it?
Yes!
Are y'all familiar with the game Borderlands 2? I play a couple of characters in that show. One of them is a guy named Salvador. Salvador's this big, hungry dude. And he carries two big guns. And he's shooting them off at the same time. And as he's shooting them off, he's just having an orgasmic experience. And he goes, "Yeah! It's like having 3 dicks!" Which apparently my wife does not appreciate.
Yeah. I didn't know you did voices in Borderlands 2. It's actually one of my favorite games. What other voices did you do in that game?
I also play a character named Blank Stay. And it has that reaction with the ladies.
You said it's an ADR direction as well?
I have. I've done some ADR direction. Yes, what?
I just wanted you to talk about it a little bit, from that end of the production.
Yes, back in 2004, maybe, I started directing, and I really, really loved it. For one thing, I got a chance to see, again, when you're an actor, you don't always get to see the whole show. You don't get to see everything about it. When you're a director, you get everything. And I will be very honest, the shows that are closest to my heart are the ones that I directed. Because I know everything about them. I did a show called Welcome to Twin DtK, Air Gear. love doing Air Gear. And then I did a bunch of other shows, but those two shows were my last two shows to direct when I was at 80.